afternoon and welcome to the Midday News here on CNC3 and the TBC Radio Network. I am Bhavita Gopalchan. Thank you so much for joining us. We begin with news of politics. The opposition is supporting the Emancipation Support Committee in its call for an independent investigation into the disruption of 2025 Calypso monarch Elon Francis' performance at March Grand Carnival Sunday night. During an opposition media conference a short while ago, Diggle Martin West MP Hans de Veens questioned state media TGT's response to the matter as he demanded that the television company release its recording log, be to show and to explain to the public what exactly took place after blaming the interruption of Francis' performance as an audio issue. He also accused government of attempting to censor political commentary in the competition. Well, political analyst Dr. Vishnu Raghunath is dismissing claims of state censorship following a broadcast disruption during Elon Francis' March Gras performance. The opposition and social media critics accused the state company of sabotaging the broadcast to silence Francis' political commentary. However, Dr. Raghunath maintains that the incident was not a deliberate act of suppression. He points out that while the television feed experienced audio issues, Francis' microphone remained active inside the venue, ensuring the live audience and, most importantly, the judges heard the entire performance. While the opposition labeled the technical glitch as political interference, Dr. Raghunath argues the government had no incentive to sabotage the broadcast, as such an act would offer no political gain. To news of crime now, a man has been shot and killed in Port of Spain. Officers of the Interagency Task Force are currently at the Mango Rose housing complex in East Port of Spain, where the shooting occurred. One man who is yet to be identified was killed and another injured in the incident. We'll bring you more on this in a subsequent newscast. Well, elderly residents of Block 1 Palmies are calling on the authorities to investigate two private Montessori schools operating in their community, complaining of persistent traffic congestion and noise which they say have disrupted their quiet enjoyment of their homes. Retired school principal Harold Ramgulam, who lives directly behind one of the schools, said the constant activity has made it impossible for him to enjoy his property. As a longtime educator, Ramgulam said he supports education but believes it must be conducted in appropriate zones.
So they are basically using the comfort and security of what we paid for, right, and created and cultivated for their comfort and use, which is not fair to us, right? So in the context of what the Prime Minister says, that we should be tolerant of others with noise making and so on. So this falls in that category because they are basically interfering with our peace, enjoyment of property.
Gary Sani, another resident, said the presence of the two schools is causing excessive traffic in the community.
I have to be so careful coming out of my gap, my garage, and when the cars are coming up the road and the cars are coming from the next school, it's a traffic jam here. But for the residents.
Well, one of the principals of the affected Montessori school told Guardian Media that the institution has outgrown its current location and will be relocating. Guardian Media contacted Education Minister Dr. Michael Dowlett, and we are awaiting his response. Meanwhile, Fyzabad Anglican Secondary School has continued to excel in science despite a dilapidated lab, and now a New York-based charitable group has donated funds to help upgrade the facility. The Trinidad and Tobago United Community Association presented a check this morning to assist with refurbishment works. Principal Keza Felix Roberts said the science labs have faced challenges for years, and the contribution comes at a critical time.
So some of our challenges include termite-ridden desks and stools and so on. Chemicals for experiments are very expensive, and therefore continuing to have a supply of that is necessary for the children to do their SBAs and IAs and so on. So this contribution, along with those that we expect to receive, will definitely help us to improve what we can offer to our children.
Representing the organization, Alatia St. Bernard Marshall said supporting the school means investing in future doctors and scientists, adding that without proper lab facilities, students are being sold short.
The students of this school, especially in the lab, who are going to be doctors and scientists and so many great things that our country need, if we fall short and they don't do what they're supposed to do and they don't have the lab to have the experiences and the experiments that they needed, we are selling them short.
Now, the association is based in Brooklyn. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back with Sport News.
Magical Expressions Limited is the largest local importer and distributor of fresh cut stems, offering the widest range of beautiful flowers at the most affordable prices. Call us today at 701-6488, 701-6680, 728-6786, or visit our website to order.
Things don't always go as expected. Be ready with Trinry for auto, home, business and group life. Call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Huge insurance premium. Pay your premiums bit by bit with FlexiPay from Trinry. For more manageable auto, home and commercial insurance payments, call us at 800-TRIN or visit trinry.com today. Trinry. Premier insurance coverage for less.
Lent is here, and the castle is making fasting easy and tasty. With a fresh catch, seasoned local style, and cooked to golden perfection. Try the fish meal, the fish combo, the fish sandwich combo. Want more fish? Well, the royal fish meal is for you. Or maybe you just want our famous fish sandwich. The delicious Lenten specials are hot and waiting for you at your nearest royal castle.
Okay, let me see you, Cherry Hill. Yeah, now take it back. Let me see you rock off, shake off. Let me see you rock off. Let me see you kick right. Now step forward, now step back.
Lucozade, bring the energy. Unbeatable taste, new look.
Shake off. Let me see you rock off.
Some of us like to test limits. But there won't always be second chances. Obey the speed limits. Maybe you don't value your life, but others value theirs. A message from the TTPS.
West Indies beat Italy by 42 runs at Eden Gardens to remain perfect in the ICC T20 World Cup. West Indies were asked to bat first and made 165 for 6 from their 20 overs. Captain Shea Hope scored 75 to top score for the two-time champions. Shafeen Rutherford scored 24 not out, and Ruston Chase also added 24. In reply, the Italians were bowled out for 123 in 18 overs. Shamar Joseph took 4 for 30. Ben Menanti top scored with 26, and JJ Smuts scored 24 as they fell 41 runs short. West Indies have now gone 4 matches without defeat, heading into the Super 8. After the match, Hope shared why he favors efficiency over power hitting.
Because we love to see the ball going 106 meters into the crowd, but then that same guy hitting 100 meter 6 would face 2 dots. Probably get a single in the last over, but I'll hit 3 twos and then a 6 in the back of the over, 60 meters. But I still scored more than that guy hit the big 106. So it's more so about the effectiveness and the way how you can score. It's more so for me about scoring off as many deliveries as possible.
Well, West Indies' first match of the Super 8 is on Monday against Zimbabwe. Philadelphia Union beat Defense Force 5-0 in the first leg of their CONCACAF Champions Cup match at the Hazley Crawford Stadium on Wednesday evening. The Americans got goals from Milan Ilaski in the 29th minute and Ezekiel Aloda in the 32nd to go into the half with a 2-0 lead. Well, they got further goals in the second half with Oluwetu Makunui in the 64th minute before Bruno Damiani scored a double with a 69th minute shot and an 81st minute penalty to complete the 5-0 win to take to Philadelphia next week Thursday. That's it for sport. It's back to a break.
Only BioStrath gives your body more than 60 of the essential nutrients it needs every day in a product that's 100% natural for stronger immunity, enhanced focus, increased energy and stamina. BioStrath. Get what you need naturally.
Have you guys ever heard about freezing your bread?
Yes. Freezing your bread is actually turn the carbs to fiber blended. And it makes you feel full for longer.
From a medical standpoint, freezing your bread is actually really good. Bread is made up of starch, which gives you the major carbohydrate component. When you bake bread, the starch absorbs water and gelatinizes. That's what gives you this soft, easy feel. As the bread starts to cool, those starch molecules recrystallize and start to become harder, and that's called retrogradation. Retrogradation is actually a very good thing because it promotes something called resistant starch. Resistant starch is a fantastic thing to have. When we get resistant starch does not break down in the small intestine. So it's good for your glycemic index. We talk about glycemic index in causing your sugar to go up. Trying to keep the sugars down from being absorbed too quickly in your system.
But you have to take it from the freezer and reheat it, or toast it for that to happen. To bring it back to life. Correct.
Yes. Now, if you take it out of the freezer and you let it cool naturally, you will still get some of that process. But if you take it from the freezer, toast it right away, you lock that retrogradation in. You lock that resistant starch in. And that resistant starch is good for digestion, helps you promote gut health. The microbiomes, the good bacteria in the gut feed off of that resistant starch, and it's good for them.
So if you think the bread is already good, it becomes super good after freezing.
Yes.
Correct.
Well, Andrew Mountbatten Windsor former Prince Andrew has been arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Thames Valley Police said a man in his 60s was taken into custody this morning. He remains in custody and officers are carrying out searches at 2 properties. Police confirmed the arrest is not related to sexual offence allegations. The investigation follows claims Andrew may have shared confidential government information with the late convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein during his time as the UK Street Envoy. Andre has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing. In a statement, King Charles III said the law must take its course and pledged full support to police. In the search for the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie, authorities on both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border now on the lookout for clues. Here's more from CNN.
18 days into the search for Nancy Guthrie, and investigators are looking to Mexico for any leads in the case. A source telling CNN investigators have now briefed U.S. Border Patrol and Mexican law enforcement authorities.
Scrutiny about people crossing from the U.S. into Mexico and the number of vehicles that are stopped is far less than vehicles coming the other way. So if you were only going one way, it might be a calculated risk you'd be willing to take just to get into Mexico, where far fewer law enforcement authorities would have been looking for Nancy Guthrie.
The 84-year-old Guthrie is believed to have been abducted from her secluded home in Tucson, just over an hour from the border with Mexico. Meantime, another purported ransom note demanding approximately $6 million in cryptocurrency was sent to TMZ on Wednesday.
They graphically describe the consequences if they're not paid.
According to a source familiar with the investigation, investigators still have no leading theory about a motive in the case.
It is never too late to do the right thing.
Savannah Guthrie's latest plea to do the right thing now echoed on a sign outside of Guthrie's home, along with the message, "Let Nancy come home." Her community desperate for any information as a growing tribute of yellow flowers and ribbons are left as a show of their lasting hope. I'm Sherelle Hubbard reporting.
Well, time to check in with Jean-Marc Rampersad for the weather forecast.
A yellow level hazardous seas alert has been issued by the Met Office, which comes into effect at 2 p.m. Large battering waves are possible along the north-facing coastlines of Trinidad and Tobago until Saturday evening. All marine interests are advised to exercise caution. We also had several showers this morning, some becoming moderate to heavy, but southern areas remained mostly fair. For the remainder of the day, showers will tend to favor Tobago and western areas of Trinidad, becoming mostly fair by the evening, but with a few lingering showers overnight.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for a look at the day's developments so far. We love these stories and so much more coming up for you in a Midday Newscast at 7 p.m. today. Until then, have a great day.